welcome back to yet another episode of the Talkatives Football Podcast. I hope you enjoyed. Well, if you're in the U.S., I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. And if you're not in the U.S., I hope you enjoyed international break. There was some decent international matches, so I hope you enjoyed it for what it's worth. But now that we're back, we had a pretty exciting game week this past weekend, and then we topped it off this past midweek with some Champions League. So that's where we're going to start. And I think let's start with the good stuff before we head over to some more unfortunate news for some other clubs. But starting off with Arsenal, they had quite a day today. And someone that I have been quite hard on, one person by the name of Kai Havertz, has scored in his second straight game. So I think the first question has to be this: they beat Lens 6-0. Congrats for getting their revenge after Lens beat them earlier in the season, and in a big way. That's where I'll leave. That's where I'll leave the 6-0. But more importantly, has Arsenal figured out Kai Havertz?
God, no, and no. I think the answer is no. Like, I'm actually pretty happy for him. He's now a left midfielder. He's now a left back. But yeah, I wouldn't say they have figured him out. I'd say Arteta is definitely cooking something with him. Maybe the 65 million was justified after all, but it still remains to be seen. You know, if he goes missing for another however long he went missing before this, I don't think Arsenal fans would be very happy with him. But hey, as long as the team's winning, no one cares, right? So
Okay,
yeah.
Zach, what says you? We'll get to you, Manny. I see you fidgeting over there.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, doesn't really matter either way, whether he scores or not. You still call him a fraud. You still call him, yeah. So that's my take on it.
Ah, it looks like these guys have already written the book out on Kai.
Yeah,
It looks like there's no point of return for him for these
no,
two.
he could score a free kick like Sterling, and you'd be like, oh,
I would
well,
I,
it's like it's
I,
yeah.
I,
So
I I wouldn't call it a no point of return. I'm just saying that he still hasn't justified the amount of hype, the amount of adoration, the belief, the money spent. And while it's a good thing he scored back-to-back games, but he has to continue doing it consistently, or at least if he's not scoring, he's providing. He's a midfielder now. He's a creator. He's a 10. He's a 9. I don't know what he is. He's an 8. Is he a 6? But as long as he puts in good performances for them, I think they'll be happy. He just has to continue being consistent, especially seeing now that he's not required to be a goal scorer anymore. So let's see.
Okay. And finally, to our resident Arsenal fan on the podcast, Manny, uh, are you seeing good signs from Kai? Has your
Not gonna
squad
lie,
figured him out?
from the beginning, I've seen good signs from him. You guys don't see
All right.
what it's valid. reasoning why it's valid. When he played for you guys, when he played for Chelsea, the team he was coming from, they didn't know how to use him. They just assumed, or based off of where it was before, this is what he's good at. But playing in Germany or wherever he came from is not the same as playing in Premier League. Respectful. So we're utilizing them as a utility player. If you look at our attacking group, no attacker on Arsenal is 6 foot. Not a single one. Kai comes in and is 6. And I'm not gonna lie, in the Prem, if you look at the average defenders of the Prem, we don't have any advantage of kicking long balls. We don't have any advantage of. We have to build from the back. That's why we play from the back, because we don't have no outlet. We don't have no ball holders. We don't have no. And Jesus can do it, but if it's a straight header, the defender is winning it a good 9 out of 10 times over Jesus. Havertz brings versatility to the front. We need somebody up there to hold the ball. He's not as rapid as Martinelli. He's not rapid like Saka. You need a balance of that when you want to attack. You know, Doku is rapid. If we're talking about your team, Doku is rapid, but Silva is not as rapid. Silva is still part of your attacking. He's a midfielder, but he's not as attacking. If you go to Chelsea, Modric is rapid. Sterling is rapid. I don't know about Jackson, but you have Gallagher is not as rapid. All our attackers, apart from like Odegaard, are all rapid, very aggressive, like attack the ball play. You need somebody to, and then you need height attacking. In the game of today, you need some height, somebody who can hold the ball. So I think we're figuring them out in certain settings. You know, the light that we're. But in terms of them saying he's just finding, I think he's found form a while. Like not found form, but he's been producing for us for quite some while now. When we won the Sevilla game, he didn't create the assist, but he was the one that brought the ball down and passed it to the person that made the assist. He did it again the next game. International break came. They played him wherever. He scored goals. This is when the goals is now starting to come. He has 3 goals for us and 1 assist this season. Though, and it's 60 something million. Okay, the people who bought players for 100 million, and the players didn't score nothing for how long, and that this is their bread and butter. Like this is, oh my God, we took him from Arsenal, we took him from this and that, and the players been nothing about that guy. That guy is no tabloids, no nothing. But we pick a player for 65 million compared to what the market is today and what the players are worth in market today. Respectfully, you're not gonna get a player like Havertz for anything less than, if you're lucky, 55. Mason Mount costs the same as Havertz. But everybody's
I done forgot about Mount.
He's this, he's that, based off how he played for them. But the thing is, when he played for them, their team was already in shambles. Their team wasn't even like they didn't know. I still think they're figuring it out. But when he played for us, he's coming into a setting where we have a plan for him. It's not gonna be clear to everybody off rip. But respectfully, you could see the changes in how we play sometimes. We didn't, again, our goalkeepers, they could target somebody. Like Raya has accurate on the ball. We have somebody to target now, a 6'4" guy, and when they play to him, he wins a good 90% of his headers. So I think it's benefiting for us. He's getting his form. He's getting happy. He's doing interviews. He's telling people, it's like a family. We've brought him into a different mindset. Left the toxicity that he was in that blue-colored shamble place, and now he's come over to the red light. Love that. We love that. We love to see that.
Okay, so I just have a follow-up question. Oh, go ahead first. Go
to counter Manny's point. He is kind of right, because I checked, and Kai Havertz spent 3 years at Chelsea, and he had 6 managers. So it makes sense that he wasn't utilized correctly. And we've said that on the podcast before. So, yeah, maybe Kai Havertz has found a coach and a club that can finally use him. But as far as,
maybe,
we've discussed Kai Havertz way too much on this podcast. I think he's still a fraud, to be honest. But hey, maybe Arsenal can unfraud him. But as far as my eyesight, that man is still at the very top of that fraudulent list. And we actually need to see who is on Manny's fraud watch, because I think he has some interesting things to say about the blue side of Chelsea, blue side of London. So
You know what? If we have time, we'll revisit it at the end of the episode. But before we move on from this topic, I just have one question, right? I'm just gonna play devil's advocate for a little bit, as I so much love to do against rival clubs here. Now, I'm going to draw this parallel here, right? So, looking at Kai Havertz, and now that he's starting to score for you guys, right? In the past 2 games, I would just like to say, in the past 2 games that he's scored, he's come off the bench. Now, the parallel I would like to draw to is to one Darwin Núñez over at Liverpool. The good production that we've seen out of Darwin Núñez has happened when he's come off the bench. Now, I draw this parallel to ask this question. Do you think this good run of scoring form that you've gotten out of Kai is more to the fact that of how he's being used as a super sub? Or do you think that with what you've seen, based on how you say he's been performing well for you, that he can be a 90-minute player for you guys, out and out?
He played 90 minutes today. He
Did he
scored the
start the
first
game?
goal. Yeah, the first goal of the whole thing today. He plays
Oh,
90
my fault.
minutes a
I didn't
lot
watch.
more
I
than
didn't
I
watch. I didn't watch
really
the game
thought.
today.
He plays more 90-minute games than I personally thought he should have been from the jump. Arteta trusted him off rip. He's
Well,
played
that was when he was
probably more 90 minutes. He's played more 90-minute games than Gabriel Jesus like this season. And the thing is, so in terms of like comparability, the thing was he wasn't scoring. But if you look at all the games we've played, he's had a good 3 chances, like minimum, of like either just a shot or tap in and he's whiffed it, or it's hit the post, goalie has saved it, defender has blocked it. Like he's getting in the critical positions we need him to get into. It's now that the balls are starting to go in the net. Now it's getting in the net. Now it's getting past the goalie. Now the end product is showing. But he was already getting in those positions. Like there was one, I don't remember who played, where he was outside the box. He put it on his left foot and he curled that thing. Like he's finding his rhythm. Of course, it's a new club. It's a whole new setting. You've been through 6 coaches in 3 years. That's in the best league in the world. Like, and now you're under a whole different setting. You have to acclimate it. It's only been 12 games, 13 games. So he's the whole a regular season of about 50 minimum games. Like if you're doing all the the leagues, the tournaments, everything. So he's getting his rhythm. He's getting his setting. And when he starts really running, I don't think he's hit like prime Havertz yet. I think he's just finding his footing. Because again, if you look at the goal today, it wasn't like a full goal per se. It was like a tap in. But like if that
No,
was
he
like
got into the position. He got into the position.
yeah, nah, he got in the position. But if that was 4 or
Yeah,
5 games ago, he would have whiffed it, or it would have hit the post, or goalie would have saved it.
nah, his name's
The
not
confidence
Jackson.
is coming, things is developing. So I think in time he'll prove all the other naysayers. I get them. For them, he was a fraud to the T. Respectfully, they could say for them about a good 75% of the attackers were fraud to the T. Defense, only 2 people maybe made sense in the defense. The whole team was fraud. But they're picking on this poor guy because we came and they were relying on him for in the middle of the. I mean, if he had helped them out, they wouldn't be saying what they were doing. If he had scored, their situation wouldn't change for their team. But if he had
Fair enough.
scored and done his thing, they would leave him alone a little bit, free him a little bit. But because he didn't, he wasn't productive. It makes sense. Like if you, it's like saying when we had who was that oh God, I forgot his name. We had yeah Sanogo as our star striker. Oh pain, oh good awful times. When we had Yaya Sanogo and we were expecting the world. We were expecting more and more. And the boy couldn't score for his life. He had 2 left feet. He was tripping on himself in front of goal. 1v1, he
Yikes.
was falling down. Like we were like, what is going on? That's what happened for them. And it makes sense, as your team. Bro, you're supposed to be scoring. What are you doing? It makes sense. But for us, he's doing what we got him here for. So we are singing his praises, and they will forever see him as a fraud.
All right, no worries, no worries. And my fault on the I didn't see that. I wasn't really focused on that game. I was really focused on the Bayern Munich Copenhagen game, because that's exactly where we're going to go to next, because that game had quite the implications for a match that took place earlier in the day, in the Champions League window. Galatasaray versus Man U. Now, this match was a must win for Man United. And to be fair, how the match started, you knew that Man U definitely knew that, and they were definitely serious about winning, because at one point this match was 2-0 and you thought it was going away, because Garnacho had scored a pretty decent goal near post, to follow up the wonder goal at the weekend. And then a screamer out of nowhere from the captain, Bruno, and he hasn't scored. He hasn't been scoring well from the beginning, but he has, 3 goals in his last 5. So now he's starting to pick up form. So that goal was definitely a sight for sore eyes, I guess, from if you compare it from the earlier parts of the season. And then while Galatasaray did score shortly after that, Bruno got an assist and was able to to put Manu up at 3-1. Now Manu's up at 3-1. The match ended 3-3. Hakim Ziyech, my goodness, 2 free kicks, and the first one was well designed. I gotta give props to their set piece coach because that first one was beautifully designed.
Can
They
we find out what his name is and hire him? Yeah.
Please, it's too.
Bro, they put 2 of their own players in the opposing wall, and as he went up to take the kick, they split up, and it completely fooled Onana because Onana had set up his wall to cover the other side, and he went to cover the other side thinking he was going to go over the wall, and he literally shot through the gap, and Onana couldn't save it because he was already moving the other way. But then the other goals that they scored after that were complete goalkeeper errors. My goodness. So now with the results, basically, Man U to stay in the Champions League has to win at Bayern Munich. While expecting
Man is having flashbacks of Bayern Arsenal games.
they have to win at Bayern Munich while hoping Copenhagen and they have to hope that they draw, because if either of them win, it's a done deal. So they have to hope that they draw and they have to win. Now we can talk about what the outlooks for Man U is as a club. We'll get to that. We can talk about Erik ten Hag. We can get to that. But I really want to focus on Onana. Today's match was a disaster class, and it is not the first disaster class he's had. In fact, it might be the umpteenth that he's had this season, and we're not even at Christmas yet. So is it time for him to, have a stint on the bench?
Absolutely not. This is not on Onana.
Who
Like
would they replace?
Yeah, like this is not on Onana. Like, have you seen their back four?
Hold on. Stop. Did you watch the game today, matter of fact? No, wait, hold on. No. Did you watch the game today, matter of fact, Zach? If not, did you see any of the goals? Because the second free kick from Ziyech, oh my God. The second free kick from Ziyech, how Onana handled that ball.
Yeah.
He said,
here's my thing. Here's my thing. You know why I'm saying this is not on Onana? Because that's who Onana is. He's not the best from on dealing with like free kicks and long shots. We know that.
He was in the Champions League final last year.
So that doesn't mean that he's
good.
He had a better defense.
Yeah, his defense was crazy. They had Skriniar. They had like a very
strong
great base at defense, and their CDMs too. Marcelo Brozovic, Barella, like they had dogs, man. Like, have you seen the back four of Man U? Marcus, can you tell me who the 2 center backs for Man U are? That played.
I don't know who the was it Lindelof and Maguire that played today?
Yeah.
Feet Johnny Evans and Varane, who never
plays. That threw me when I heard his name in Man U team.
Varane is trying to get out the team because he's getting benched by Johnny Evans.
So Zach, you said what'd you say? What'd you say, Shags?
I said Varane is looking to leave. The rumors are because he's getting benched by Johnny Evans.
Yeah.
Well, I would have left yesterday. The moment Johnny Evans played 2 matches in a row and not with my butt on the bench, I would have put in my transfer request. What? The fact that it's waited this long, he's given enough ample respect. Better man than me. But back to the topic at hand. So Zach, you don't think they can bench Onana? You don't think they should bench Onana?
No, this is not. None of this is Onana's fault. You're basically putting pressure on a keeper that. Yeah, we know that he's not the greatest shot stopper. Like, his best skill is his reactionary saves. The one-on-one saves, stuff like that. That he's excellent at that. But the shot stuff, the shooting from deep, I mean, trust me, Onana is the keeper for Cameroon, all right? I think we gave up a goal to, I don't know, like Kosovo or something. The guy scored from like 45 yards on Onana. It was like a player I didn't even know his name. So that's who Onana has been. Man, you knows that. You really think they didn't know this about Onana? Of course they did. It's because ETH, Onana, that was his guy at Ajax. Just like Anthony. Just like who else? Hoyland wasn't, Hoyland played at Ajax too previously, right? I think so. I'm not sure. But yeah, so that's ETH guy. This is not on Onana. The guy we should be looking at
Okay.
is
Annie, you seem ready to go. What says you?
I think I agree with Zach to a degree that it's not, but at the same time, it's his fault because I've seen him do some wild, uncharacteristics, goalie like things, like some just catching the ball, like you're playing base, and I get that this is not
it's
his
the
bread and butter.
pressure. It's because
Yeah,
he knows Johnny Evans and them guys are there if he makes a mistake. So how would
yeah.
you handle the pressure?
I get that, but respectfully, in professionalism, like when we had let me not go to my team again. We had
Mustafi.
Mustafi and
I knew it.
gives you a headache. Mustafi and his family members in the back. It was our goalies were still trying though. Like we were Ramsdale wasn't making the foolish mistakes Onana.
Actually,
But
you're
again,
making my point. You're making my
Ramsdale
point.
is not Onana. Ramsdale
It
is not
wasn't
Onana.
Ramsdale though. It wasn't Ramsdale.
Before Ramsdale,
How did Chesney look in Arsenal against that back four, and then in Juventus? Tell me.
but
Oh
it
wait.
wasn't long shot that was doing Chesney in.
But
It was
no.
literally
But what I'm saying is, how did he look
defense.
against a competent back four in Juventus and
Oh, then
against
a strong.
Juventus?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Nah, there's a difference.
oh,
There's
all
a
right.
difference.
Very different.
I get you.
Okay.
I get you. But I'm
Yeah.
saying there's basically that goalies should be able to. You're a goalie. This is a simple catch. Ball should not be slipping out your hand. It's not like they
That's
whipped
right.
a knuckleball shot at bro's face. They
Mhm.
literally the ball is coming in the air. You could he's
Yeah.
volleyball patting
He
the
just made a
Well,
mistake. Yeah.
Well, those are things
but
that a
he's made
confident goalkeeper does. Like
several.
he's
Hey,
not getting any type of confidence from his defense to do that. So, like to answer Mark's question, they cannot afford to bench Onana. They have to keep playing him because, like, he's still a decent goalkeeper. He's not a terrible
He's
goalkeeper
number
all of a
one
sudden.
in
He just
prime.
has a really bad defense, and because of all the mistakes that's been happening and all the unfortunate, and it's just building and building and building, and now it's in the back of his head. He's under pressure.
every
They
single
have to
mistake
start
he
him.
does,
It,
every
it's
single
Yeah,
thing he does.
it's
Yeah.
magnified
It,
now. So it's like they gotta play through it because they really don't
they
have
have
no
but
choice. Like what are they gonna do?
he's
Bring
also
De Gea back on loan? They already sold Dean
he's also
Henderson.
still the
They
best.
have no backup.
He's the best in the prem. Like in terms of he has the most clean sheets. He's second in like saves or save percentage or whatever. Like he has like good stats in the prem, like very good stats.
yeah.
So it's just when they go to play like a tournament or they do like a friendly and he makes some glaring like silly
Like like
mistakes.
even
I get
like
it's
even the
because of his
goals. Let's talk about the goals against Galatasaray. Those two free kicks. How about Bruno Fernandes? You don't foul on the edge of the box when you have 8 players behind you, Bruno.
I don't
Now,
really
hold on, wait,
understand.
wait, now, wait. To that point, to your point, that actually wasn't Bruno Fernandez's fault. That was Amrabat because Amrabat was actually supposed to pull up and close the space on the ball. He did not, so it was Bruno that was forced to track all the way back, and he was tracking. He was tracking back. He was always at a disadvantage because this dude had a run on in front of him. So
Once
and
again,
on top of that, it,
what
it wasn't even a full on clip. He was trying to get out of the way. It was just unfortunately legs collided and he went to the
But
floor and that's what made
but
the free kick.
still, once again, that's not Onana's fault. Onana is not the one who fouled,
Yeah,
made that foul. It's Onana's defense and midfield that failed him, and then you have Hakim Ziyech doing some a madness of a free kick, and you already talked about how they split and everything, and it's like that's not we
yeah.
can't blame Onana for that. It's
And
not just
And
his fault. It's everything that goes into his
I think
ability to make those saves. Don't put him under unnecessary pressure, and he
Like,
won't
yes,
concede
Onana,
goals.
he made a mistake, but like we make mistakes. It's just when he makes a mistake because of how his team is doing and your recent form,
yeah,
it's gonna
they
be
don't score enough.
He's a
it's
very
gonna look
easy
pretty
scapegoat.
bad.
It's a very easy
Yeah,
scapegoat. Like nobody's talking
And
about Bruno Fernandes giving the game away by fouling. Like
but
nobody. It's
not just
Onana.
Bruno Fernandes though. Just in general though, Manchester United's midfield has been terrible this season.
shambles,
Terrible.
shambles.
So
And you know
They had an
what's
18-year-old
up?
balling out last game, and they're like, "Oh my God, we found
play
him."
him.
Nowhere
Why
to
don't
be
they
found
play
again.
To be
him?
fair,
It-
I think they found something in that 18-year-old because he came on today and he was class.
Yeah,
He was class. By the
but
time he was on the pitch, he
Is
was
Ten
class.
Hag gonna bench guys like Amrabat and Mount for the 18-year-old? Is he brave enough to do that? No, he's not. That 18-year-old is gonna get maybe 6 appearances for the rest of the season. Probably go out on loan in January. Like he's not the solution to their problems.
But I do agree with you. Oh, I do agree with you on the comment that it's the defense because I remember one very vivid game. I think it was either his third or fourth game, Onana's third or fourth game, and one of the defenders made a very glaring error.
It was
But
Maguire.
he covered for him, and he saved that. And he was livid. Like when I say
Yeah,
livid,
he went back right at him and yelled at Maguire.
so
He was screaming.
and throughout the season we've seen that he could make saves. Like he's not like a trash goalkeeper. The way they painted him out to me,
He's not
He's
Kepa.
a great goalkeeper. It's just the people that are built around them that's supposed
but
to.
wait.
He has,
Look at Kepa and Real Madrid now. You say he's not Kepa. Look at Kepa and Real Madrid.
That just
So
goes back to the point. Look at Havertz at Chelsea. It's like when you have a good team around you and you have consistency,
it
you-
changes
the
the
best-
dynamic.
you know, it
He didn't have a
brings
good
the
team at
best out
Chelsea.
of you. You need to put
he
yourself in
didn't
the
have a
best
good team at
situation.
Chelsea. You said Chelsea.
I don't mean to
He didn't have-
interrupt you, Manny. Hold on. I
You're
don't mean
right.
to interrupt
You're
you,
right.
Manny. I don't mean to interrupt you, Manny. We just heard something. I just want to confirm what I heard and make sure the audience, understood what they heard as well. So, am I hearing from what I heard? Is it fair for me to say that both the Chelsea fans admit that Chelsea is a bad team?
Man, we've been saying
Word.
this for the last 15
Word.
episodes. We are a mid-table club. We suck.
We're mid team right now, but we were a bad team.
We have
last
more
season.
losses than wins. We were even worse. I don't even know. Can we say we've gotten worse? No, we've gotten better, but we're still terrible.
No, we're definitely better. But like we're a mid team. Yeah. We're not a bad team.
And it's not gonna
Bro.
get better. It's not. Let's
How
just
the mighty have
let's put our hope. Let's just put our hope on the table and just
Bro.
gamble it on
Would you
DraftKings
like
or
some
something.
advice from somebody who's been through
No,
what you
I
guys are
think-
going?
I mean, when we get
Please.
to the Chelsea segment, then when we get to the Chelsea segment, then I'll give my thoughts. But like, we're still on.
Yes, we'll save your advice. Save your advice for the Chelsea segment. Save your advice for the Chelsea segment. But for this last one, before we wrap this one up, right? Fair to say, Man U is out of the Champions League, right? I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure we all agree.
100%.
Yeah.
I think they're
lost.
out of Europe entirely because they need those guys to draw, and those Galatasaray, Copenhagen, they're not going to sell for a draw. They want to stay in the Champions League. They're going to play for one. That game isn't ending in a draw, and also they're not beating Bayern. I'm sorry, they're not beating Bayern. As much as I would love to see it, but it'll be so funny if they beat Bayern and then Galatasaray wins 1-0.
I mean,
but it's not going to happen.
And Lindelof is gonna be able to stop Bayern from scoring more goals than them.
I'm telling you, that game, Onana, we have so much saves.
Yeah. Yes.
But he'll probably
Already
still
written-
concede 4.
Yeah, and
Right.
they're gonna blame him.
Yeah.
They
And
will
they'll
have like
blame
8
him.
saves and
Oh,
4 goals
yeah.
conceded, 1 own goal.
Exactly.
You know,
It's his fault.
3
That's another thing.
mistakes.
Yeah, Man City defenders. I mean, not Man City. Man U defenders love scoring own goals. They just love it.
Luke Shaw
Maguire,
is back,
it's his
and
friend.
it's like nothing changed. They're still terrible.
Bless
Well,
them, man.
It's tough.
They got it.
All
And
right,
then-
so
got it.
last thing before we close up Champions League review. Jude Bellingham.
My God.
Good God.
God.
Whew. That boy is.
And he's
I
20.
Well, Real Madrid was actually in a match today with Napoli. Napoli equalized twice, but then Jude Bellingham happened and 4-2. Goal and assist, 16 games, 16 goals.
No,
I think it's like
16 games, 19 goal contributions. He has 20 now
there you go.
in 16.
Yeah,
he at
he's putting up better numbers
16
than
goals
Ronaldo
yet?
at this point.
Is he
And
at 18
Ronaldo,
goals
the
yet?
Dane,
I think he has the most. He's like the
Yeah, he
best
has the most
start to a
goals.
player at Real
he
Madrid.
has 16 games, 19 goal contributions, meaning goals and assists. He has a better start than Ronaldo, Zidane, whoever has played for Real Madrid.
I
Is
have to
blowing
eat
him up.
my words then. Because I said 15 goals and he will slow down. He's at what, 18 now?
I don't know what's happening.
20 goal.
And the thing is, he just came back from an injury, and you would think, okay, 1
Yeah.
or 2 games, get your form. You just came back from a shoulder dislocation that you even played through, but get your form. But I guess being 20 has its perks, man. You don't miss.
And what amazed me is his goal, the run, the
Bro.
header, the header.
That's
And
it.
it looks so childish.
That's what he's been doing. Like I mean,
It didn't look like he did
he's maybe
anything
this
crazy.
thing now. It's his go-to move. Like they literally have corner kick plays that they set up screens for him. Like they're doing football plays. I'm talking about like
Nobody's scoring on the
you
corner
guys will come and
kicks.
pick this guy off, and then there'll be a screen, and then Jude Bellingham's at the end. Like come on. Can we hire that set piece coach, please?
No, Zach.
Like,
we don't have the budget.
FFE. Can we hire him?
Most of his goals are from open play. That's the scariest part. Like it's either he starts it, or he finishes it, or he just keeps pushing and he just gets in the right spot for a rebound.
Sometimes both. He starts and finishes it.
He's playing like I'm sorry to keep like he's playing like Lampard with those runs into the box from nowhere, and like it's like he's never picked up from deep. He'll run from his own half, and I'll be watching like, where is he going?
Truly,
and then it's a goal at the end. Like
that's
the
actually because I was thinking of a comp. He's not Zidane. He's not like hello.
You know what's crazy?
He's not Steven Gerrard. He has elements of Gerrard, but he's not Gerrard.
Yeah, he's
really more like a Lampard.
Yeah, and he's better than all of those names now.
Obviously. But the closest comp is Frank Lampard because of number one, the deep runs. Number two, he's playing like literally center midfield. Like he's playing center midfield. Number three, he's leading the attack and he's getting on the end of attack like Lampard used to do. Obviously, Lampard is nowhere near skilled or like physically gifted as him.
Lampard has the basic guy.
The positioning, the heading, the finishing, the shooting, the just sense.
Yeah, I think it's the way he brought it because if you look at his goal, like I think he also communicates with all the attack. He literally, I don't know if he took his position or whoever the striker was. He literally played in that position. He was on that back line, literally watching for Alaba. He checks back and then goes to make the run. Alaba sees him. Where's the striker? Is the striker supposed to be doing that? He was.
They're looking for Jude.
The crazy part is like on top of all his attacking contributions, this man is still ranked at the top 94% of defensive actions.
Yeah, he's
attacking midfielder.
No, he's literally playing. He's literally doing what Lampard was doing. He's literally playing center midfield and doing his damage from there.
Definitely,
and not just that. Like, even the way that Real Madrid plays, they play Rodrigo and Vinicius up in that like supporting striker role. But like when they're attacking, they vacate that space and they literally build their attack and cater it towards him. Even if you're a fullback, when you look up and you're going to cross, you're looking for where's Jude.
Yeah, because also he's the tallest in their attack.
Everybody, where's Jude? He's crossing over there. They're going to point to you. He's over there. They're going to pick for him. They're going to get in each other's way so Jude can get a free one on the back. Everybody is playing for him, man. and it's amazing to watch.
And the craziest thing is, other team defense, you know this is who you have to watch.
Yes.
But the thing about Jude is so talented with both feet and mental movements that you won't you put two people. I've watched teams put two, because I'm a Real Madrid fan too. I've watched two teams, like they put two guys on this guy, and he'll just be walking. He'll walk. As soon as you lose focus, he's gone.
Yeah.
And because of his height and the long legs, his strides carry. Like it takes two of Vinicius' strides to catch one of Jude's strides.
You can't mark him. He moves around so much. He does so much for the team.
Yeah,
he has a big defensive responsibility and an even bigger attacking responsibility. It's hard to mark a player like that. I mean, a Kylian Mbappe, you know where he's going to be. Haaland, you know where he's going to be. Jude, he's going to be in his 18-yard box blocking a shot from your striker and then leading the attack to score on your net. You can't mark him.
Yeah, that's you. It's not a. You have to You
have to literally dedicate one of your midfielders to just follow him around all day. Just follow him.
You're gonna
just follow him.
And most teams can't afford to do that.
You have to be physical. Like when I say physical, like you gotta
be physical with it.
You gotta bring this boy down. Like as soon as he touches the ball, from the first minute, you check him hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how you get in his head.
You literally have to be an elite midfielder like a Conte or I don't know.
I knew he was going to say Conte. That was the first thing I was going to say.
Like it has to be somebody like that to stop him. I don't think we have a lot of those anymore.
Do we have any other Contes in? No, we don't.
Nah.
There's only one of those, sir.
Yeah,
I mean, all I will say is he's going to be unstoppable in a couple of years because the man's still growing. He hasn't had his full man body yet.
No.
That's where we'll leave. That's where we'll leave it at. We did have an exciting match week that passed us in the Premier League. Now the teams that were supposed to win won: Arsenal and Brentford. So we won't really talk much about that. But we did have an exciting match before we get to the obvious one that everybody wants to discuss. Manchester City, Liverpool. That was battle of the heavyweights. Battle of the top two at the time. Arsenal's in the lead now, but we'll let them enjoy it for now. We all know how last season went. But back to Manchester City, Liverpool. 1-1 was how it went down. 1-1 was how it went down. 1-1 was how it went down. And honestly, I felt like this was a pretty fair result for both sides. It was a tactical battle. And both guys made adjustments at halftime that, really, really challenged the other teams, really flipped the game for us, Manchester City wise, because whereas we were very strong in the first half, after Jurgen made quite a few changes, it made things a lot more difficult in the second half, specifically for Jeremy Doku. There was not a time that man did not see three people after what he did to Trent in the first half. Trent
broke a record. He broke a record for most dribbles in the first half with 7 or 8 or something like that.
Yeah, he turned Trent into a schoolyard.
Yeah.
I mean, but Trent made up for it. He scored the equalizer.
Yeah, no. I mean, the goal, but I don't think because he turned him into I'd be very embarrassed. That was nuts.
I mean,
bro,
that's what they say. A good goal can change your entire life. You got cooked all game, but as long as he scored, it's cool.
This boy came in and turned your life. The boy has him watching his own tapes now. In one half, 45 minutes. Bro, you played against Mbappe, you played against Benzema, you played against, and now this new boy has turned you into a schoolyard. You don't know what you're doing. They have to help him. You're gonna have to be like, bro, you don't even have to speak. I know, I got you. Don't worry. But what would you even tell your coach? help.
Trent Alexander-Arnold is not a left back, right? He is a
He's not.
midfielder.
No.
Please,
Midfielder. I
Klopp,
thought they
please.
changed
When
that.
are you going to see the light? You need to
Klopp
sign
is
somebody to
midfield.
play that position and put him in midfield so he can go crazy. Because
He don't even
like
play.
it's not sustainable the way he gets cooked on a daily basis. You know, it's just it's
Nah,
alright. It's
I
it's
mean,
not my
it was,
game.
it was Doku, so I can't blame him too much, man. I mean,
Mahrez
Doku
didn't win
was
when they
tough.
played.
Even Issa Kabore got cooked by Doku, and he's one of the fastest players in our league. So
Nobody in Arsenal.
I can't blame Trent too much. All
Ben
Trent
White
had
didn't
to
get
do
cooked.
was watch that Reece James tape. You know that, but because I mean he's the only one who's been able to sun Doku.
That's cap.
But
That's cap. That's cap.
since
That's
that tape,
out.
it's like Doku has been playing with his hair on fire. So Trent
cap
was
because
only his next victim, So it is what it is.
When we played him, he didn't do nothing against us.
Yeah, I'll say there's two teams we played.
Also, it was early. I'll give him that. Like he was, getting his reins, he hadn't had enough games. Now he's finding his footing. We're gonna see him against.
But still, the two teams that forced Doku off the pitch were Chelsea and Arsenal. So that's a fact that remains. Those were the two teams that.
Come to London. Don't come to.
The last thing I'll say on this match before we move on is, I'm sorry to say this, especially with how much money we paid, but Grealish, until from now forward, going forward, my guy, you are a super sub. You are a super sub. I understand that the reason that he gets to start in big matches is because experience. I think after what Doku did today in the Champions League, we were down 2-0. At halftime, he came on, flipped the game on its head. Flipped it on its head. We finished 3-2. We finished 3-2, got all 3 points. I tell you, yesterday, matter of fact, I said Champions League today. That match was yesterday. Sorry to the audience. Now, but after all that, I'm sorry. We've now reached the point where experience be damned. We played Doku first, and then if because of experience he's forced off the pitch, like what happened with Arsenal and Chelsea, then let's make that adjustment and let Grealish come off the bench and give us what we need. Other than that, Doku is the starter. I'm sorry.
He's 100 million player. So what? Sell him? Because he's not going.
He's just gonna bench. He's just gonna be on the bench.
Nobody's buying Grealish for 100 million now. I'll tell you that for a fact.
No, I mean,
unless
if we have to take a loss on it, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. If we have to take a loss on it, let's take a loss on it. But I don't think it's gonna get to the point where we're gonna sell him unless he is unhappy and makes.
I don't think he wants to. I don't think he's even like the kind of player that gets unhappy because he's not playing. He's gonna bide his time and get some minutes, but Doku is benching him.
I want to go back to Aston Villa. I'm pissed. Sell me.
Nah. It's too early. It's too early, man. It's too early for that.
What were you trying to say, man?
I don't give already. So what is early? It's too late. It's what I'm at.
I don't think they're going to sell Grealish. One. I don't think. Apart from even if them selling him, I don't think he's in a mental place to I want to leave. No, he's comfortable. He's won what was it? Y'all won 4 cups last season.
Treble. 3.
No, we did win 4. We won the treble plus the UEFA Super Cup.
Yeah. So he's still on that. That's not a common thing.
That cup.
I don't, but I don't.
No, wasn't that this season too? So
it was in season. It was in season. But listen, I don't count it. But we took all 4 trophies on our tour, so that's why I said it.
Trophy is still a trophy, and for someone like Grealish, if he's going to compare himself to other players or whatever in the Prem or whatnot, not a lot of people can say they've done what he just did. So maybe after this year he'd be like, okay, I got to do some stuff to get back.
That's what I'm saying.
But this year he's just riding the wave.
Once he learns what it feels like mentally to be a bench player, then he'll understand.
Especially because everything goes down.
Yeah.
Your coach's trusting you goes down. When they bring you on for it's funny. Imagine they start subbing Grealish on at 86 minutes. Consistently.
You know what? It's gonna happen because Pep doesn't like to make substitutions. And the crazy part is the thing that pisses me off about Pep. One of the very few faults he has. He fought for the 5 substitutions rule. He fought for it. Him and Jurgen Klopp. And both them,
doesn't.
and him and Jurgen Klopp are the
Yeah.
two most notorious to never use all 5 substitutions.
Yeah.
Notorious. But they were the ringleaders. If they were the ones that were at the front signing petitions, they were signing and creating petitions to mail to people to make sure they signed it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
okay.
man,
It's okay.
well, I still think Grealish still definitely could have a future. Of course, Doku is superior at this moment, but you still have bums like Phil Foden on the other side. So
Oh my God.
Grealish has a chance.
You know what?
Yeah, no.
We
The way life
don't have
works,
enough time. We don't have enough time.
injuries,
And there's Phony
injuries and
still. Okay.
I know who
Hold on,
I'm.
wait.
I know who I'm.
Hold on,
choosing.
wait. So I understand the myself and the crowd understands the audacity that you two have.
I thought we didn't have time.
Craziness.
Next
No,
topic,
we
please.
don't have time. But there's one person that the audience hasn't heard from on this topic because they've heard the debauchery that the both of you have to say. Now, Manny, make it real quick, please. How do you see Phil Foden as a player?
he has to leave Man City.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
That's as direct as I can and quick as he gotta go. Like how long has it been now?
He's an academy player. We raised him. He's been here forever.
Yeah. He either scammed you or something is scamming something. But he's
the man is the man has been producing.
That Phil Foden guy is a shot on target merchant. That's all he does. Cuts in and shoot has it saved. Like that's all he does.
Oh my God.
That's all he does. And get tap ins from Haaland or Doku.
In this last comeback. I'll give him an assist he gave us in this last comeback. Him and Doku were the two proprietors that manufactured this comeback.
Once every 15 minutes against a team that sunk 8-0 last season.
Man, my little sister would get assists for Man City against RB Leipzig. Like, come on, bro.
Seriously. Like,
so for the wait, is he hurt this season? Is that what it is?
He was hurt last season. He had appendicitis last season. Yes, he had appendicitis. Had surgery last season.
This
last season. Before that, he was performing.
Funny thing is like,
except when he first came in, when we were first easing him in. Once he broke the team and he became a regular, consistent starter, benching Mahrez and all that, he's consistently produced for us.
Funny Phil is like the Dallas. He's like
so
the
far
Dallas
this season,
Cowboys, basically.
He's had 3 goals, 3 assists. He's had
I'm telling you, he only produces against tomato cans. Tomato cans.
Marcus, this is what I think you gotta look at. If you look at the boy's stature off rip, he feet wise, mental wise, great. But if you look at the boy's stature off rip, it's not working with your team, man.
The guy has
there's potential. And I've been telling him this.
There's a potential for him to be, but the thing is, he's not. I don't know if it's your team or the structure that the way Pep wants him to play specifically. Because Foden is not playing the way I think Foden. If you let him freely play, I think he'll get more than the set role that your coach has for him. Your coach wants him to play a specific way because this is how y'all built them up. But it's not.
We're letting him play free now that Kevin De Bruyne is injured. Now I thought he was supposed to replace Kevin De Bruyne. He was the boy. He's the new boy wonder. Boy wonder Foden.
Cole Palmer was the real what? Cole Palmer is who Man City fans think Foden is.
4 Champions League. Yeah, Cole Palmer. I don't
that boy is cool, man.
I don't know why you let that boy go. That boy
I'm telling you.
Go calm down, Marcus. Calm down.
Absolutely.
Calm down.
We don't have the time. We'll leave it there. We will go fully in depth on this topic another day. It's definitely going to be an episode. Maybe more so for the off season. Now that maybe more so for the off season. when we're short on time, we'll have a fraudulent series. We'll
Oh,
talk
he's
about
on
all
fraud
the
watch.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
definitely on
fraud
Yes.
fraud watch.
series.
He's
and
on
that's what
fraud
we're gonna
watch.
do. We'll have
Okay.
that's what for some people the debauchery trio. That's what I'm gonna call you.
You want to put it
The,
up to a vote? Like, yeah,
the,
3-1.
the
Yeah.
hand down. So what I heard, I already know what y'all gonna say. Listen, during the off season, when there's no we won't say during the off season because we do take a break and then we do start up again a month before the season starts during preseason, I believe. So
Yeah.
Maybe
during that little preseason before the season starts, where we're a little lack, we'll have a fraudulent series where we'll redo our fraud list from each of us, and we'll discuss players. And that's when we'll go fully in depth because we would have had this full season go by. We would have had
I
everything.
like.
We would. Okay, don't worry. It's all coming because after what I heard today, I have bones to pick with all three of you.
Marcus, can I just say this? By early March, you're gonna change your mind. Watch.
I'm not.
Just watch.
I promise you, I'm not. I promise you, I'm not.
All
right. So last topic for today. There was a match that included a club that half of our representatives on this podcast happen to be big fans of. Chelsea Newcastle. I'm reading here the headlines used in England after the match were Newcastle thrash Chelsea 4-1 as James sees red. Now,
James is the captain. Is that?
What was that?
This is the Reece James that held Doku, right?
Yes, the Reece James that made sure Doku had to put in a police report, missing persons report. That's the same Reece James. The same Reece James that they said it's a travesty to be compared to one Trent Alexander-Arnold over at Liverpool that got cooked by Doku. The same Doku that is still missing in Reece James' pocket. Now, I could ask questions, but I'm sure just the two fans alone have meant much.
Ask your question. What is the question?
Okay, perfect. I remember, a couple episodes back, there was a question that was asked, so I think it only makes sense to ask again. Are Chelsea back?
Well, I think you have to throw out this game for one.
Imagine.
I'll give you multiple reasons.
Wait, hold on, wait. Before you go, hold on, wait. Before you go, you want to throw out this game, but you kept the Spurs game. So much so, Jackson, you threw Jackson a fantastic striker based on that game because he scored 9 goals in the season. 1/3 of his goals are from that game, the game that you want to keep, but you want to throw out this one.
Look, I know you're upset about Phil Foden and what we said, but let the man talk.
We're talking about Chelsea now. I don't want to hear that nonsense. We're talking about Chelsea now. Please, the floor is yours. Go.
We're basically playing the entire game without a coach. What does the Bible say about a child left without a parent? A child left or a dog left
for
without
1 day? You say you're playing without a
we
coach?
were literally playing without a coach.
You didn't practice the whole week?
We did not have a Listen, please, I beg, guys. We're playing in. All right, I'm gonna call them what their fans call them, the Toon. We were playing in the Toon. We're in the Toon Army's worst nightmare, the Stadium of Nightmares. All right, without a coach. And Marcus, what did you say Chelsea type of player that Chelsea got? Again, from your words, presidents and kids. Okay? I'm just quoting you. All right? That's all I'm quoting. So listen to me. You have presidents, US presidents and kids, right? Playing in the Toon. One of the worst places to play in the Premier League. Without a coach. I didn't even see anybody on the sideline giving instructions. Did you?
I'm not hearing that.
We went
You
one,
Nah.
two,
A
1
game
down,
isn't won
3-1
because the
down,
coach is
4-1 down. Where's our coach?
Yeah.
He's in the stands. He can't say anything or do anything. He can't even say.
You don't have a
What do
game
you
plan the whole
expect?
week.
So I am willing to throw out this game.
Listen, hold on, wait. I can't accept that. Manny, I'll let you go right after this, but I just have to say one thing. Do you know how many times Pep has been sent to the stands, and we don't have any issues because he's still giving orders from the stands. The man's on the phone giving orders to the bench.
If his coach doesn't want it,
no, but what I'm saying is we didn't even have an assistant. I watched that every second of that entire game. There was nobody from the Chelsea bench barking any kind of work. I'm telling you.
All right.
Nobody was doing anything. There was no adjustments. There was nothing was being done. I watched this game.
You know why I'm not. You know why I'm not jacking? Because the game is not won because the coach is there on the sideline. That makes no sense. You practice 7 days. You have a game plan. You know where you're going. Everybody knows who you're playing. Everybody knows where you're going. Everybody knows the mentality of what you're doing. Okay, say the coach is not.
You can say that. No, you're right. You can say that. You can say that. Wait. You can. That only applies to team like you, Arsenal. You got to figure it out. You got your coach. You got your system. You got your players. You got your top 4 appearance. You got to figure it out. Manchester City, y'all just won a treble. You have Pep Guardiola, one of the greatest coaches in history. You have one of the greatest strikers ever playing on your team. Bro, did you not just remember the very important person that I quoted from Talkatives podcast that said Chelsea basically bought U.S. presidents and kids? You're comparing U.S. president and kids to Arsenal and Man City players and that system?
You're just giving yourselves excuses to make yourself feel better.
No, I'm just saying, though.
I'll tell you facts. Pep has won game without being there. Klopp has won games without being on the touchline.
Another coach that has been a verified Premier League coach that has built his system up already.
Yo, Zach, gotta let him finish his point.
Your own very coach that was there when we played you guys, when he was your Spurs coach or whatever it was, he won a game without being there. So I'm not, even if he wasn't there for the first half, he was in the team room at halftime. You're not banned from your team room at halftime.
What I'm saying is your comparisons aren't very good because your comparisons aren't very good because these are established systems. This is a first-year coach in a very shaky organization that has literally 18-year-olds coming off the bench. Like,
I'm not hearing that because the coach was in there. That makes no sense to me. In the Prem, nah.
It does, especially for a team that's building. What do you mean? You guys are settled team. There's settled teams, and then there's building teams that need that time on the pitch.
We just bought a bunch of players this season.
Practice doesn't really do much for building teams. Building teams, they need time on the pitch, is what I'm trying to say. Time on the pitch does more for building teams than practice because I'm just speaking my mind here. You can react whatever.
So you're telling me
at the end of the day, you need to build chemistry. The best way to build chemistry is with all your pieces together on the pitch with your coach there, not your coach in the freaking box. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what practice is for, my boy. You come to the game to show what you've done.
No, but you build that practice. But you should know that practice does not simulate everything that goes on in a game, my boy.
And I get that. And I get
the game is different from practice. Practice?
But you're telling me
about practice? Practice?
You're telling me a team gels in the 36 games.
Practice?
Okay,
really?
Zach.
I'm gonna ask you a question. All this you're doing is just deflecting. You're telling me that a team only gels. Man City won because the 36 games that they played, that was the only games that made an impact. That was where they gelled and where they made it.
You have to play the games. The games count. Practice doesn't count. We don't count how many goals you score in practice, Manny. We only count how many goals you score in the game.
Where do you learn to score the goals that you score in the game?
You learn to score the goals that you score in the game by playing in the game. Practice.
Oh, okay. Now I got you.
Listen, practice helps you get signed to that team. All right? During practice, the coach is not teaching you how to score goals. The coach is not teaching you how to pass. The coach is trying to implement his tactics that he's going to use in the game. So when the game comes, that's how the coach knows that his tactics works, when he uses it in the game. Practice really doesn't tell you anything. That's just my opinion. Carry on.
Valid.
Wait,
Valid.
you know
Sorry,
what?
that
You
was
know what?
over my
I have
head.
things to say, but Shegs, please, I need to hear from you. I need to hear from you. I need to see if I need to, just go.
Um, I definitely think that training goes a lot into what happens on the pitch. I think that's where the
Okay,
coach
we're already on the right step.
decides
Thank you.
what players to play. I think that's where the coach also, yes, influences, makes his tactics. But I think more to Zach's point, the point he's trying to make is these players are not capable of carrying on the coach's instructions onto the pitch. Whatever Pochettino is giving them in training clearly isn't translating to the pitch. And while I won't make the excuse of saying we can just chalk off the game because Pochettino is on the stands, I think we could just blame Pochettino, like straight up. Because why are you getting sent off for whatever he did in last game? Why are you not relaying your instructions to the guys on the touchline? Why can't you translate this young team? You're supposed to be the guy who builds young teams, and apparently, like looking at whatever you're doing, it's not working. Like we go from the cycle of oh we're shit to oh we're cooking something, oh we're back, oh we're shit again. Like it's getting really tiring. Talk about the actual gameplay. It's just a shambles, man. As like our best defender is Thiago Silva at 38. He's the oldest player to score in the Premier League,
I saw
oldest
that
player to
trick
play
movie.
for Chelsea.
Almost
He
broke his hip.
as good as he is, we need to find a solution and that ends up with him being on the bench. But it seems impossible for Pochettino to dream up. Reece James had a terrible game. Gets first yellow for kicking the ball away, a second yellow tugging on Gordon. And then we lose 4-1. It's just overall bad because we have young boys coming into the team like Leslie Ugochukwu, who is not a bad player, but we need some continuity in the team because we have people going down, injured, coming back. Where was Caicedo for that game? I think he's on the fraud watch. That's
He
where he
was on,
was. He was on the
he was
fraud
on the
list.
bench. He was benched for
It was on the fraud one. I was trying
Ugochukwu,
to
and
buy it.
then he was subbed on for Ugochukwu, I think, in like the 80th minute.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know. I just think it's just another bad loss. I
Some
think it's just more of the
greediness
same from
gets
Chelsea. I honestly think this is just about what's going to happen for the rest of the season because we're still going to have players come back from injury. Then we have to integrate them. Then we have to figure out what our best team is, and we still
I
have the
don't
ins
think
and outs
we're
of
gonna
Premier
lose like
League.
this. I don't think we're gonna lose like this again. The rest of the season. As
Oh,
long as keeps himself on that sideline,
oh
I don't
no. Oh,
like
oh,
this.
we
You
will.
jinxed
We
it. You
will.
have
Wolves,
jinxed it. You
Wolves
will
are
lose
coming
like
from
this
it.
twice more over.
It's gonna be like Luton Town or Sheffield, that need 3 points to survive, and then it's gonna be Chelsea away, and they're
Oh,
gonna just
The
I'm not saying
Everton.
win
no, no,
3-0.
no. I'm not saying we won't lose to Luton Town or Shelford, but it'll be like the usual 1-0, 2-0 is we're not gonna lose four
To a
one
big team like that.
to
Well,
any team.
you know
We're not
what?
gonna
yeah.
lose 4-1 to any team again. Is
I,
what I'm
I
trying to
I I
say.
don't think
Not
I don't think you have enough evidence to make that prediction though.
I
Like they
don't. The evidence that I have to go off is the fact that we're getting better. All right, before Pochettino was
you know
chalked
you
off side
Shags, hold
side.
on, Shags. You have to remember.
it's very hard to say we're getting better when we lose 4-1 at Newcastle. It's very
Well,
hard to
Shags, you
say
have to remember
Bro,
this game never happened for him. He threw it out.
Dave,
You never lost.
that.
He
This
threw
game
it out.
never happened.
He threw it out.
you know what you know what I think
exactly.
Chelsea's
Nonsense.
problem was? I don't think it's Pochettino. I think it started before. I think it's your owner.
Oh
And
my
I'll tell you
god.
two reasons
Please
why I
don't go
fully believe
back
that.
to
And no,
this.
no, no,
We've
I'm not.
been
I'm
there.
just,
Look, Manny,
I'm
we
just visiting with it.
before you go on that rant, we
It's
know,
not
but
even a
now
rant.
it's on
I
Pochettino
know
to
you
make
guys
it
know.
work despite our owner.
Let me tell you. So when you did the greediness of picking, when y'all heard, oh, Arsenal might buy this guy, and your owner said, we have money, and he did all that, and y'all guys got him. Cool. You guys got Pochettino. You think Pochettino hasn't drilled in this people's heads like, bro, this is what I'm trying to look for. This is what the people he got together are not. Reece James is not. Why would you, as a captain of a soccer team, why would you go do that? You know you're gonna get a
Come
yellow.
on,
Like,
Manny. Come on, Manny. Don't say that, bro. Everybody has bad games now. Everybody.
yeah,
He
not
had a
everybody has
terrible
bad
game.
games. But
It
at the end of the
happens.
day, no, it happens. I'm not saying it don't
Yeah.
happen. But
Yeah.
bad games
He
isn't.
literally
You don't
forgot
have
that. Oh, I'm on a yellow. Literally.
bad
Yeah.
game is not you kicking the ball. Bad game is not you kicking the ball after the ref whistle. That's
No,
not a bad game.
no, bro. He had a bad game. No, I'm not even talking about the.
I wouldn't call it a bad game. I call it a terrible game. He failed as a
like,
captain completely during that game.
But the part that
even
really
minus getting the red card, his play on the pitch was
That's what I'm saying.
terrible.
And
Like it was terrible.
what led to the red card? What led to the red card? He kicked the ball and he got a yellow, a silly yellow.
Mm-hmm.
2 silly yellows.
That's
On top
it's
of
a
bad
very
gameplay.
Yeah,
It's not good
bro,
enough.
why
It's not good
But-
enough.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, of
that
course.
everybody literally played terrible.
But the thing is,
Everybody.
respectfully, if you had 11-11 at the end of that game, I don't think you would have lost that game 4-1 or 4 whatever y'all lost it. I don't think you
Respectfully,
would.
I
It's
think
just-
we
you
probably
might not have
still
won
lose
it.
4-1. Honestly,
I don't
respectfully,
think you might not
I
have
think we
won.
probably still lose 4-1.
I don't
think
think
you
we're
would've-
ever gonna know, but I think we're more likely to not lose 4-1 with Reece James on the pitch.
Obviously,
But
we're
as
not-
bad
yeah.
as he was playing, we probably lose 5-1 even.
But
You know,
but the
it's
thing is
yeah,
also you gotta
we just
understand
can't
the game
know.
is 90 minutes. Some players don't find like when players that have bad games, sometimes they do have 1 or 2 here and there, but it usually comes at the end. It's not like if you're already not in the game, you already killed your whole and you're already fighting back, it's done. The game is ended. Like when they say there's a when they say there's a fighting chance, to that last whistle blows, there's a fighting chance. You guys had chance. You guys had you had shots on target.
Shit.
Not
The game was
enough-
bad in general. No, I
Not
get it.
enough,
I get it.
man.
It didn't
Not
count.
convincing
count. It wasn't-
enough.
I
Like
get it.
the
But I'm saying
shots on
off the-
target we had are like,
You're
okay,
picking shots on target at the main
like,
point. I'm saying that you guys had a better probability of doing not what happened if some of your people who should know better have done what they should have. That's it. But that's not on
yeah.
pause.
No,
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
if Thiago Silva
That's what I'm
hadn't passed the ball right to Joe Ellington, I mean, please, God, can we start
Free
there?
ball.
Like,
That's what I'm saying. That's not on Poch.
It's-
What is Poch
it's-
gonna scream? He can't do nothing about that.
like he
Poch
literally
can't
passed
coach him to
right-
not pass the ball. That
That's
that
what I'm
kind of
saying.
mistake is
It's
mistake is just like at your
Yeah,
big age,
yeah,
as good as you are, it's
also-
unacceptable.
It's
Why are you doing that?
Yeah, it's unacceptable.
It's
I'm not
it's
gonna lie.
bad. It's
It was
That's what some of y'all
literally like I don't know if you
Mhm.
remember that game when
Some-
Thiago Silva's first game when he joined
Oh.
us under Lampard.
you got
He
a red
lost
card.
like 4-2. Yeah, and he was directly in responsible for like 2 goals before even his red card. He played terrible. And then he was a player of our season, the next year, the season after that? So what I'm saying is this happens. People have bad games. This was just a day that everybody had a bad game. I mean, Sterling's bad game, if he could have bad games every game, I'd be fine with it because he still managed to produce a free kick that was, oh my goodness. But yeah, it was just bad all the, and I already knew when they were bringing on the subs, Mudryk, Caicedo. I'm like, oh my goodness. Can we just
At that point, it's too late.
blow the
I
whistle?
think,
man?
I think this season Mudryk is definitely a victim of Cole Palmer because Mudryk was definitely building up. He was building up some steam. He finally scored. He was looking good.
Yeah.
He was looking amazing in preseason. And all of a sudden, you see this
Is he a
this
left
young
wing or
kid
right
with
wing for
no
you guys?
Left wing.
left wing.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
And Cole Palmer is also a left wing.
no, Cole
No,
Palmer is a right
no,
wing,
no.
but like there's no
Moving Sterling to left wing because he's a right wing.
yeah. So it's like
well, that's the thing. That's the thing. They both when they were at City, when both of them actually played, we like to interchange them. They both can play on both wings.
On
Because
both sides. Oh,
Sterling
okay.
played on the right when we had Sane, and then Sterling would play on the right when Phil Foden was
Yeah.
benching Mahrez and so on and so forth. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but-
it's sad for Mudryk. You know, it's sad for a lot of people because maybe we need another fire
Now-
sale this summer, and you know, or even in the winter. I don't know
what
what
you
they-
just did.
what
A
they need.
fire
Another
sale
fire-
with
Sure.
with all your contracts on average of 8 years.
This
You
guy-
just blew $600 million in literally 2 months.
we're
know,
not
fire
having
sale.
a
We
fire
don't
sale
we don't care about the
because
money. It's not about the money. We need to develop the team. We need to
And what do you mean
please
it's not
ignore that
about the
comment.
money?
Ignore
Wait,
that
hold on,
comment.
hold
Ignore
on,
the
hold on.
money.
Serious
We need
question,
to
serious
develop
question,
our
serious
team.
question. No, serious question. What do you mean it's not about the money? Because it should be because your owner actually self-reported on you guys. That's why you guys are having this investigation right now. So it
There
has
is
to be
no.
about the money. Because all the money you spent, if you
First
need
of
a
all,
fire sale and it's negatives.
hey, first of all, okay, I take it back. We don't need a fire sale. Don't focus on that. Secondly,
Yeah.
it's not about the money. We self-reported for something that happened during the Abramovich era, and we've already paid the fine. We don't act like we have 152 charges. But
We're owning
hey,
up to it.
the
That's why.
solution,
But
the solution is
all
on
I'm
the
saying
pitch.
is that's what the investigation is from. They're self-reporting.
It's a
So
formality.
why are we still talking about something that happened? Why are we blaming
Because it
him
was
for
based
something
on
that happened
payments.
before?
It was based on payments
So
made
who
during the
cares?
Abramovich
Look,
era.
you're missing the point. So Boley did
You
a good
said
thing
fire
then.
sale.
So Boley did a
Nobody.
good thing then. Forget about the
Yes.
fire sale
So that's
comment.
what.
Forget
That's what
about
I'm
the
saying.
fire
Well,
sale comment. We
that's
don't
what.
need a
That's what
fire
brought me
sale.
to the
We don't
statement.
need a fire sale. We don't need a
No,
fire
Okay.
sale.
Well.
That was just an
Okay. So
off
you don't get
comment.
the fire sale.
Don't. Yeah.
Okay. That's
We
what brought
need
it
to
back.
we need to
About my
figure it out.
question. So if there's no fire
We
sale,
need to
there's no
figure
fire
it
sale.
out. We need to figure it out on the pitch and see
we
who's
just
good
need.
enough to play for Chelsea. And
My whole
then
point is
some decisions will have to be made.
we just need the people who are supposed to be on the pitch and on the side of the pitch actually there. The Nkunkus of the world. Fofana, Wesley, hello.
He's coming. He's coming.
Yeah.
Lavia still hasn't kicked the football for us. Unkuku was supposed to
Can you
come back
see
for this game. He was nowhere to
what
be
I'm
found.
saying?
You
We
know,
just need
so
the
yeah.
people and Pochettino.
Rob-
Pochettino, please, my guy. Have been our coach for barely months. You don't have no right to be getting yourself kicked off at the end of a game. We need you on the pitch because we have kids. Please.
To be fair, Arteta was
I mean,
getting
he was
himself sent
defending
off at the beginning
He was
too.
defending.
Yeah, Arteta was getting himself sent off defending the teams too. So at the beginning,
We won all those
We
games.
saw how those Arsenal teams were. They were very undisciplined.
wait,
Very,
hold on.
very.
What'd you say, Manny?
You Arsenal
I
boys.
said every game that Arteta got sent off, we won except one.
That's true. That's actually true.
But also to justify it, we had like our assistant. We had a solid assistant coach. Our assistant coach had in his ear, like we were doing what we were our due diligence, communicating with our.
Arteta brought that. Arteta brought that from Man City because that's how Pep does it. Every time he's up there, he has to think.
And his
he
assistant
Don't do
coach.
this. Don't do
Yo, you know
this.
what's crazy? You know what's crazy? A bunch of your team setup is off of us. You don't know it. Arteta was the brains behind a lot of y'all stuff.
Probably, I believe it
Of course. Why do you think Pep? Why do you think Pep got him as an assistant? Pep obviously recognized his talents.
Okay,
From
fair
when they
enough.
were playing in Barca, that's the craziest part.
Just say
Like,
thank
back
you
in
and
the
call
day.
it a day,
That's
Marcus.
exactly.
You're
No,
welcome.
it's not thank you. Me, I'm very angry because he left as our captain over there, did nonsense to us. I mean, he paid him too because he didn't celebrate a single against Arsenal. Like, it was literally fighting himself. But he went there, to develop. You have to get your experience. And who else would you rather develop under than Pep? The guy had a long time. I didn't know he was coming to Arsenal. I'm not going to lie. But I'm glad he did. When I say grateful to God that whatever slit happened and he was able to, I'm just thankful because the way my story would have been right now, we'll be lower than else.
Yeah.
If
Yo, quick question, guys. Quick question. Zach, why is your jersey inside out, Zach?
Because I don't know which team I'm a fan of anymore. So
Wait. No. You don't get after all the energy you had in this episode. Nah, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. You do. You know what? That's the perfect time. We'll end it there. End it on a laugh and some nonsense from Zach. As always, if you've been with us for this long, we appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, family, all that good stuff. Yes, we always appreciate you. Always appreciate you. We'll catch you next time on the next episode. Peace.
peace.